Hey, what's up, Rattlers? So if you like blue-tongued skinks and monitor lizards and carpet pythons and all the morphs that can only be seen here in Australia, man, do I have a treat for you. You know, we are at Joe Ball's place, his brand new place, and about 3 years ago, I visited Joe Ball's other place back when this channel was called something else. Who can remember what I had this channel called? But anyway, in that 3 years, Joe has a brand new facility out here just north of Brisbane in Queensland, and he's going to give us a tour and show off some of the most amazing blue-tongue morphs and other morphs of Australian reptiles. So grab a snack and kick back, because you are about to see some Australian reptile morphs like you guys have never seen before. I'm Dāv Kaufman, and I am obsessed with reptiles. So come with me and join my reptile adventures.
At Zilla, we are dedicated to the innovation of caging, lighting, and equipment solutions that provide proper husbandry for your pet's long and happy life. To see our entire catalog, visit zillarules.com.
All right, so we're here with Colin South, Cannon Harkin, Brian Cusco, and of course the
blue-tongue guy,
the blue-tongue guy, right. So this is Joe Ball. These are his enclosures here outside in his home. Why don't we start with some feeding here? We've got an amazing carpet python there.
There we go. So there's one.
There we go. He's got
and
a little...
this aviary is 3 by 3 meters. So and I've got 4 carpets in here. And what I try and do is feed one in each corner.
That one's coming up behind you
the
there.
thing is I need to establish where the 4th guy is. Do that. It's
there we go.
Not in there.
These are coastal 50% het bredli, 100% het albinos.
Once you've fed them, they're easy to move. So you can put them.
Great.
So each one now.
Right, and you know, for people that have 4 adult carpets in an enclosure, you know, the only reason why you're feeding them cohabitating is because you have enough space in which to do so.
Yeah, that's right. There's plenty that would challenge this idea, but there's plenty of people that keep snakes indoors that never get to go outside too.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, that's one of the perks of living here in Queensland, Australia, is you get to keep species like this outside year-round, and they kind of makes it easy for them to naturally cycle and breed and all that sort of
Happier
stuff.
animals, I reckon.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So before we go in and see the offspring of these carpet pythons, I would really like to check out the Perenties that I saw here last time.
Okay, so...
Look at this enclosure. Can we get in?
Yeah, you get in.
Look at this. Look at how you designed this place. And look at this big dude. Oh, man.
He's 3 years old.
All right, so this guy's 3 years old. And look at this enclosure you have designed with this old trailer and this painted backdrop, little hide box over there.
The idea behind the trailer was, well, it was just something that was dumped here when we moved in. I thought, oh, it's just going to be something I'm going to have to get to the tip somehow.
Right.
But then I looked at it and thought, you know what? That's going to look great in a goanna cage.
Absolutely.
And so before we erected this cage, which we put together panel by panel, I actually put this in first and built the cage around it. And I loved it from the moment I did it, but now it's in here, it actually serves quite a few purposes. It allows these guys to regulate their own temperature. So on a hot day they get under the trailer, and on a cool day they get on top of the trailer to bask. So, you know, these guys can thermoregulate by the use of that trailer, and it gives it that sort of outback station look with a Queensland number plate on there.
Right.
We went that one stage further and put the painting on the back wall with our friend Skippy the kangaroo.
But look at this enclosure. I mean, talk about enrichment. That is one happy Perentie down there. All right, so we've seen the Perenties, we've seen some of the carpet pythons over there that we're going to see the offspring later, but let's move on to the blue-tongues, because you have some blue-tongues here that the world probably has never seen before. So I'm really looking forward to seeing these blue-tongues and see how much your collection has grown over the past few years since I was last out here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so just like last time, you are keeping your blue-tongues outdoors in these homemade enclosures.
Yeah, we've got, it's a two-pronged approach, if you like.
Yep.
I believe all lizards need to spend some time outdoors, you know. Let's cut to the chase. Only a fool would say that a lizard doesn't need UV. And my blue tongues have spent sort of 40% at least of the time per year outdoors.
Gotcha.
And we've got sort of 25 cages here, and I have a rotation policy.
Gotcha. Okay.
These guys basically get to go indoors and outdoors.
So you've got a little hide box. Those are some blotchies there. And in here we've got, oh, look at that.
Okay, so we've got morphs. We're going to look at morphs in two different species. We're going to look at skinkoides morphs, which are very evolved. You know, there's 20 or more different combinations and mutations in those guys, almost rivaling ball python numbers now. But we'll start with these guys. This is the blotched blue tongue. This is Tiliqua nigra lutea, and these are the only two morphs that there are in these guys.
Okay, so
and these are proven. So we've got a super pinstripe there. I think you saw this guy last time.
We did, yes. I do remember this guy, but this guy I think was a baby last time.
Yeah, it was a baby last time, yeah.
So this is what that baby looks like as an adult now. And she's kind of retained those stripes.
Yeah, it's like this is an incomplete dominant mutation.
That's fantastic. And then this guy, I don't think I've met this one before.
This turned out to be a recessive. This is a black-eyed axanthic or anery or whatever description you want to throw at it. There's a bit of shed that's not quite come off this guy, but you can see just how white it is. And you can also see if you capture the jet black eyes, which shows that this animal has the inability to produce orange and yellow pigments, but does produce black pigments, so that's what gives you your black and white look.
So it's a xanthic. So this is probably the world's first axanthic blotched blue tongue.
Yeah, and we've got babies from this guy, so we've got this project fully proven out now.
So are these the only known morphs of blotched blue tongues?
Yes, I mean these are the only two proven mutation blotched blue tongue projects in Australia. Now, not that I want to upset anybody, there is a few individual phenotypes out there which people are working on, but as yet there's nothing that has been successfully replicated other than these guys.
That's it. All right. All right, so these blueies are absolutely incredible. What do we have here?
Okay, so this is relatively new. This is a North Queensland subspecies of eastern blue tongue, and as you look at them, they actually bear the hallmark of northern blueies. That's because they're pretty damn close.
Yeah.
You know, you've got no temporal eye bands, and yeah, these guys sort of sit in between. You know, your easterns are a silvery animal, which these guys have, but they do tend to have temporal eye bands, which these guys don't. So they're pretty cool. They grow to the size of northerns, and these are also a mutation too. So you've got a reduced pattern going on.
So they look axanthic?
Yeah, they're axanthic reduced pattern. So they're a double visual.
And these are the easterns, you
Yeah.
said. Wow, those are just amazing. All right, guys, so that's some of the outdoor enclosures that Joe has, but right now we're gonna go inside and see some of his baby skinks and other really cool herps that he has right in here. All right, so this is room number what? Like one of two?
Oh, I suppose I've got 3 rooms. But
Three
we're
rooms.
We're going to look at 2 today.
All right.
Yeah, and we've got everything sort of packed in here pretty tight, and it's downstairs. So what that enables here in Australia is it gives me control thermally. So on a hot day, it stays cool in here, and on a cool day, it stays warm. Previously, I had them in a tin shed, and I used to have all sorts of
Oh, I bet it was, yeah.
You remember that big shed that I had?
Yep,
Yeah,
I do.
But yeah, this has given me full control over what I'm trying to do.
Fantastic.
So, let's look at some animals.
Let's do it. So let's take a break from looking at blue tongues for a second, because you just told me that this guy right here is the world's first.
It's the world's first and only albino Cunningham skink.
Oh my God, look at that. So this is a T-positive albino, akin to a caramel, what we would call a caramel in the States.
Yeah, that's right. It's got a ruby red eye, totally lacking in black pigment, and I'm leaning towards it being recessive. She has reproduced, so we've got heterozygous offspring, but as yet we don't have another one.
All right, so that's what a normal Cunningham skink looks like, and we found these in the wild on my last trip. But that's a normal right there. Oh, that was a normal right there. So now where did this lizard come from?
It was produced by Brett McKinley in New South Wales. Well, he basically found it from his pit animals. So we don't have the parents of it. We're not sure what they were, but we do have her and we have some of her siblings. So from that, we've done some test breedings. She's had some babies, so we've got some more wild type offspring from her, which would, I'll be damned if it doesn't turn out to be a recessive mutation with that appearance.
I bet it would be.
Yeah.
I bet it would be. Wow. So you're looking at a world's first and only right there. All right, so back to the blue tongues. What do we have here?
This is my latest and greatest. I'm not going to put a name on it yet because I don't want to cause any controversy, but what we've got is we've got a total disruption in patterning. We've got white patches on the nose, snout, feet, just basically random patches of pigment and pattern taken out, and we've got just pattern remaining down the back of the animal. We've also got pigment stripped out from the tongue. We've got a pink tongue. So at the moment, if you like, I'm calling it a patchwork, but I don't have enough of them yet to totally figure out exactly what it is.
All right, so in North American colubrids, when you have an animal that has, clear sides and pattern only down its back, we call that a white-sided.
Yeah.
So this could be the world's first white-sided blue-tongued skink.
It sort of gives off a bit of pie too, doesn't it?
Sure.
But it doesn't. You've got to do some work before you throw fancy names
Absolutely.
around. Otherwise, the naysayers will be
Right.
ready and waiting.
Right. You have to do a little thinking about what you're going to name them before you name them. But this is a world's first.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen this before, so that is amazing. And this is why I wanted to come over here 3 years later, was to see the evolution of your programs, and man, this does not disappoint. All right, so I see that you're keeping all of your blue tongues, or most of your blue tongues anyway, in a rack system. So a lot of people out there kind of gun shy about, keeping blue tongues in a rack system. Obviously, this works for you. Can you talk a little bit about that to the people out there that might think that keeping blue tongues in a rack system is the best thing or might not be the best thing? What are your thoughts on that?
It's a very difficult question to answer in a couple of minutes, but I'll have a crack. And the way I'll do it is I'll highlight the way I do things, and I'll just I'll put a blanket on it. So there is no one solution for keeping lizards, and each and every lizard does have its own sort of psyche, if you like.
Sure.
And I do find that certain animals love being in a rack. They like the security, they like the mottled light, and so on and so forth. They'll eat more food in a rack. You can control the heat better. You'll get better growth rates. But then you'll get other animals that, once they get to adulthood, they won't like being in a rack. They want a little bit more space.
Sure.
And certain ones of them will go better in a 4-foot enclosure and so on. I also keep stuff outside, so I tend to have an answer for every situation. And I think that's why this topic becomes so hairy online, is because people tend to go, right, you can't do that holistically for the lizard's entire life, and I would agree with that. There's nothing better for getting some size on a lizard than putting it in a rack.
Right.
Because you just control everything. As soon as you put them outside, they tend to feel a little bit less secure.
Right.
And they'll pick at their food. They won't eat as much. And some of them even go off their food outdoors. But then as soon as you bring them back inside and put them in a rack, their food bowl's emptied every day.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
But then you'll say, oh, there's no UV in here. So it's like, well, okay, how do we do both?
Right.
And then you'll put them in here where you've got UV, and they won't like the glass front.
Right.
They'll find that they're always hiding there too. So it's not a straightforward answer.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. And,
Yeah.
and in a lot of, keeping snakes and lizards, there really is no black and white answer
Yeah.
to some of these questions that we have.
What I would say is, yes, you can keep them in racks, but why not build yourself an opportunity for these animals outdoors too? So when you've got some favourable weather, you can put them outside
Sure.
so they can get natural UV, so on and so forth. But on your colder months, you can bring them back inside.
Sure.
You can control things. You can keep the food going, so on and so forth.
Right.
Sorry to complicate it, but it's not a straightforward answer.
All right, so I saw these last time. This is the melanistic on top, obviously.
Well, you did see these last time, but these have got an overlay. So what you saw last time was a platinum, which was your white northern genetics coincided with your hypermel genetics. But what we've done since then, we've added black-eyed anery on top. So this guy now is a triple visual. So you've got your black eyes. It's like a black-eyed platinum, if you like.
Right.
So it's a triple visual: white northern, anery, and hypermelanistic.
Wow.
And then you've got your hypermel here, which usually has orange eyes and orange belly. But what we've done is we've made him exanthic as well. So he's now got a white belly.
I gotcha. Okay.
And he's got black eyes. And we've named this guy the Blackout.
That is incredible.
This guy here, a little bit objective because it's hard to be 100% sure, but I'm leaning towards this guy being a quadruple visual. So obviously it's albino because of the red eyes. There's no orange pigment in the eye, which means anery's taken that out. So that makes it at least a snow. We've got hypermel because you can see sort of shades of purple coming through. And also the white northern genetic in there, which makes it flash white too. So because there's so much going on, it's hard to be conclusively sure by looking at it, but it's certainly the most advanced albino I've ever produced anyway.
That thing glows in the dark. That is amazing. All right, so I wanted to show these outside because I wanted to show these off in natural light. These are just eye-popping.
We did look at these last time, but we've evolved them slightly. You know, we've increased the intensity of orange. We've increased the northern blood in these guys, so we've got increased vigor and size. These are only a year old. Visually, these are hypermelanistic, so black, and also albino.
And these are called lavas?
Yeah, that's right.
So now, for those who don't know, explain what a lava is.
Well, the lava is just a description of the animal itself. You know, when you split morphs, you go genotype and phenotype. Genotype means the genes that are in there. So in this case, we've got albino and hypermelanistic. And phenotype means what it actually looks like.
Sure.
So when you were then to go and add a name to that phenotype, so what it looks like, the guy looks like molten lava. And that's what we've got.
Sure, makes sense to me. So here's the carpet python offspring of the ones that we saw outside. So we're taking these outside because, oh my God, those are like highlighter. So let's go out here. Holy crap, look at that. This one has like fluorescent pinks and fluorescent oranges. Those are some carpet pythons unlike anything I've ever seen.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to achieve similar results to that of the lava in the blue tongue. So,
sure.
You know, the high orange. So what I found was a bredli that was darker than normal bredli. So it was a hypermelanistic bredli. Not in the true genetic sense, but just a sort of a polygenic black, if you like. And I paired that to a standard albino, which had got coastal and Darwin blood in it.
Sure.
And then kept all the offspring, which were the guys that you filmed in the aviaries.
Sure, yeah.
Paired those guys together, and then you get these guys.
These are absolutely amazing. And now how old are these guys?
12 months.
12 months.
Yeah.
Very big pythons for 12 months. That is great. All right, let's see what Kenan, who's hanging out tight here, wants.
Oh man, I am not a
Well, no, you're
not a morph guy, but they are beautiful.
Yeah, aren't those incredible?
I mean, it's crazy to see carpets the way most people see a lot of ball pythons and stuff like that. So it's.
You can go too far, I agree, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't know, I
that's
look
beautiful.
at those guys. And
That is great.
You can't fail to not love that.
Hey, listen, anyone who just sees me over here alone and hands me snakes. Thank you.
Brian, what do you think of those carpets?
I've never seen anything quite like that. I know Ken's blind, but I can definitely see. I'm colorblind. I mean,
They're albino, right?
Yeah. Those are orange.
They're orange. Okay, yeah. There you go.
I've never seen a carpet python that looks like that in my life.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
that is
never.
absolutely
It looks
amazing.
like a Starburst wrapper or something.
Yeah, absolutely it does. So Joe just brought out a baby. That's what they look like as babies. Wow. Just highlighter. That is amazing.
And beautiful snakes.
They are incredible snakes. Well, Joe, I think you've just made all carpet python people around the world very jealous with these snakes. Those are amazing. Cool. Well, again, thank you for having us over. Thank you for showing off your amazing collection.
I just love doing it, mate.
Yeah.
And it's great to have you guys back again to see the evolution of some of the projects that I've been working on. So
Well,
I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Thank you
to
so
dig in.
much, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Awesome. Anyway, guys, there's many more adventures coming up. So until then, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.